Senior BJP leaders LK Advani, Joshi and Uma Bharti were today charged with criminal conspiracy in the 1992 Babri Mosque demolition case by a special CBI court in Lucknow. The court rejected their discharge petition earlier in the day, in which they had argued that they had no role in bringing down the mosque. The special CBI court has been asked to wrap up the case within 2 years by the Supreme Court, and it will now begin its trial against these leaders.
For LK Advani, former Deputy Prime Minister and one of the BJP's tallest leaders, today marked just the second court appearance in 25 years of the Babri Masjid case. Mr. Advani, Union Minister Uma Bharti and Kanpur BJP MP Murli Manohar Joshi, along with 9 others, were charged by a CBI court in Lucknow for conspiring to demolish the Babri Masjid. The court ruled there is enough evidence for a trial in the case.
We oppose that these charges cannot be levelled against us, for which the learned court denied and framed charges against all the cases. The court has never ordered, not ordered today, that Advani ji would appear again.
The special CBI court in Lucknow had been given a month by the Supreme Court to frame conspiracy charges and deliver its verdict within 2 years. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath received Advani and others at a VVIP guest house in Lucknow this morning. Sources in the BJP say publicity and hype over the Babri case is not entirely a bad thing for the party, despite affecting top leaders, as it helps consolidate its core Hindutva vote bank. Before leaving for court, Uma Bharti struck an aggressive pose.
मैंने पूरी आस्था से भागीदारी की है, तो मैं अपने आप को अपराधी भी नहीं मानती हूँ.
One of the charge-sheeted persons is a Union Cabinet Minister, Miss Uma Bharti. Having been charge-sheeted in this matter, she must forthwith resign.
In an interesting turn of events, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is visiting Ayodhya tomorrow, just a day after the events here at the CBI court. His office says it's a routine pre-decided visit, but the symbolism of this is perhaps not lost on anyone. In Lucknow with camera persons Rajesh and Ramesh, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Interestingly, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is visiting Ayodhya tomorrow, and we understand that he is likely to visit the site of the makeshift temple there as well. The political significance of that not lost out on anyone. So is all of this going to help or hurt the BJP, particularly since this trial is now going to coincide in the period that runs up to the next general election in 2019. Joining us tonight, Sambit Patra of the BJP, Mr. Pawan Khera of the Congress Party. Our commentators this evening, 2 senior journalists, Shivam Vij and Savat Naqvi, and Mr. Sanjay Hegde, senior advocate of the Supreme Court, also joining us this evening. Mr. Hegde, let me ask you first. It's actually astounding the number of years that it has taken to come to this point where these charges are even framed. Legally, what happens next, Mr. Hegde? Even though the court has 2 years to conduct this trial, do you think it will begin fairly soon?
Well, the court has been mandated by the Supreme Court's judgment of April 19th to conduct the trial on a day-to-day basis, not to adjourn the case except for very cogent reasons, and to finish everything within a period of 2 years. But despite the Supreme Court's order, today there was an application filed for discharge, knowing fully well the futility of it, just so that an order is passed saying, no, I can't discharge you, I am framing charges, so that thereafter there is an appeal which is likely to be filed in the Allahabad High Court. Delay is a known defense tactic. I fully expect the legal team of the accused to continue prolonging the process, probably ensure that some of the accused do not finally face a judgment at the hands of an earthly tribunal, but well, they are entitled to it. What has happened is that over the past period of 25 years, there have been periods of time when deliberately orders were passed administratively on the administrative side using the CBI to ensure that the conspiracy trial did not go on or was not clubbed with the trial of the main demolition. It took a Supreme Court judgment nearly 24 years later to just say that elementary thing, please have everything together and finish it off fast. I fully expect another round of delaying, but after all, everybody is one day accountable to a court. That day was today.
Well, that's one aspect of the story, but Sambit, the political aspect of the story is rather interesting, and I know how you're going to answer this, but I'll still ask you anyway. It is being seen as a move to checkmate Mr. Advani, who may have perhaps harbored presidential ambitions, but B, it's a great political strategy, some see it, for the BJP, because it keeps the Ram Temple issue alive well before the 2019 elections. Yogi Adityanath is in fact going to Ayodhya tomorrow, and therefore, in that sense, politically, it's a win-win for the BJP.
Let me take on both the questions. Number one, that the Bharatiya Janata Party is conspiring against Mr. Advani, one of the tallest leaders of the party. And secondly, that we want to polarize the society in 2019 and so emerge as victorious. Number one, if you would go into the timeline of this whole case, you would realize that after the Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court upheld that judgment of Shrikant Shukla, the special court judge, that conspiracy charges are to be dropped. Thereafter, the CBI moved the Supreme Court way back in 2011. So it is but natural that the Bharatiya Janata Party and its leadership was not planning any kind of conspiracy against Mr. Advani way back in 2011, because it is subsequent to 2011 appeal that the Supreme Court heard the case. And number two, when you say that 2019 would be a polarizing year and Bharatiya Janata Party would stand benefited, then my answer would be, see, all this that happened in the Supreme Court was not by the design of Bharatiya Janata Party, it was by the way of the law, it was by the way of the highest court of the country. But those who allege such kind of intentions on Bharatiya Janata Party naturally have a guilt conscience within themselves. They know very well that they have heard the sentiments of majority of the Hindus in this country, and that's the reason as to why they feel that come 2019, if going by the timeline of timeline of the Supreme Court, a judgment would be delivered then. So naturally the Bharatiya Janata Party would be benefited come whatever the judgment. This is because of the guilt conscience of the opposite party, and the Antony Commission has spoken at length about it.
No, but what are they guilty of? I mean, why is Yogi
That's why I said the Antony Commission.
Why is Yogi Adityanath going to Ayodhya and to visit the site of the makeshift temple tomorrow within 24 hours of this first hearing? And of course, he's not a divisive figure.
No, you are not aware. You are not aware of the facts, Nidhi. In fact, Yogi Adityanath's this itinerary was decided long ago. If you would have asked,
so was the date of framing of charges
1 month ago, see, we have to know one thing, Nidhi, that Ayodhya falls within the boundary walls of Uttar Pradesh, and Yogi Adityanath is the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. So unlike the last Chief Ministers, just a second. Just let me complete. Unlike the other chief ministers, the national leaders like Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav or Mayawati, who never felt that there was any need to visit Ayodhya's makeshift temple, naturally we feel contrary to it. We feel that since it is an issue of faith, since it is a place of worship, there is no harm. Why should we be apologetic? Even if Yogi Adityanath visits the makeshift temple, though I'm not aware of the itinerary of Mr. Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh.
That the Congress is trying to make here. Do you believe as the opposition that this is advantage BJP? Because this is exactly the kind of issue.
This is their politics. Yeah. Advantage, disadvantage, people will decide in 2019. But yes, attempts at seeking an advantage. The same CBI forgets to appeal against Amit Shah, but remembers to maintain its stand when it comes to Advani. So whatever suits the two bosses above, CBI does that. So it is a caged parrot. We were reminded during our era, but now we can see it. Yeah, it's getting proved. As far as Yogi Adityanath going wherever he wants to go, he should have also gone to Saharanpur, Sambit. I don't know why he didn't go there. It definitely suits the BJP right now to let the issue be alive, let Advani ji and Murli Manor ji be killed by this case, but the issue will be alive. So that's the perfect combination for you.
Yeah, so what is the Congress's counter narrative to that?
Can I just take 10 seconds to correct my friend Pawan?
One second.
You came on the plank of development, so-called Sabka Vikas. I think even they've forgotten Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. We remember it. It will haunt you in 2019 by the things that you are doing, because of the things that you are doing right now. So definitely, and I also am very flummoxed by this. You call him Veer Savarkar. He said he participated in the freedom movement and then ducked. No, Advani ji, if they went and demolished, let them face it. I'm coming to that. Listen, please have patience. No, Advani ji should face it. Yes, we demolished it. Go to the jail. Have guts, have courage. If you have a commitment to the cause, show it. Why you want the reward for everything from 2 to 80 seats to 120 seats based on Ayodhya? But when it comes, आपने तोड़ा या नहीं? हमने नहीं तोड़ा साहब. अरे
Some
साहब
quick
तो किसने
responses,
तोड़ा?
and I want to open this up to the commentators. Yes.
See, the nervousness is written large on the face of the opposition parties. I am arguing the whole case on technical grounds, but unlike that, the opposition party is looking so nervous. Why should they be so nervous?
Really?
If we visit, you can visit Dargah.
We are not
you
even
can,
discussing the visit.
Why
Don't shift
can't
the
we visit a
goalpost.
temple?
We are not even talking about the visit.
I did not
No,
speak
no,
in
no,
middle
sir.
of
But
you.
no, I have to
did
correct
not
you
speak
because
in
you
middle, sir.
are miss.
Nidhi,
No, you
am
are
I
misquoting
allowed,
me.
or are
We are
we
not
supposed to
interested in
debate
whether
like
he
this,
goes there, doesn't go there.
interjecting
It's
each other?
irrelevant to the development of Uttar
Can I
Pradesh
please
and to this
speak,
issue
Nidhi?
right now.
Okay,
Let's
well,
come back
no
to
issues.
Advani
You
ji
can
to
continue
whether
the
he
conversation.
demolished it or not. And if he did demolish it, why can't he own it up and go to the jail like a hero?
But, you know, one second. What is ironic, Shivam, here is that actually Sambit is smiling.
Nidhi, can I complete,
Yeah,
Nidhi?
yeah, quickly, 30 seconds.
He in fact ate into my time. Let me, Number one, let me correct the facts over here. The CBI as a caged parrot, etc., was brought by the Congress. Let me remind you, in April this month, and Sanjay Hegde would stand by me because he's a lawyer, the Supreme Court said that the CBI is to be questioned as to why way back in 2011 there was a 9-month delay. And remember, the charges, the conspiracy charges were initially dropped on technical grounds which could have been cured. They were curable technical grounds. So my question to subsequent governments, including of Samajwadi Party, Mayawati and the Congress which was in center is, why did not they cure the infirmities that existed in the technical ground?
Absolutely.
They did not
And that's
cure
great,
the infirmities.
because
Were
you
they
guys-
standing with the CBI?
So your government
Were they
did
standing
just
with the
that.
CBI then?
You
That's
did-
an admission.
you-
That's an admission
so
that your
that-
government was very keen on correcting those anomalies
which is
and
which
rushing
is
to the
great.
court.
I mean, that's they
yes.
followed the process.
No,
And
those
I saw the
anomalies
problem
were
of,
cleared 9
Advani
months
ji,
after.
Murli
It
Manoj
was
ji.
Take
again
care of the
cleared in
martyrdom
2012, by
once
the
and
way.
for all.
You are
But
you are
one
in a
second.
good confessional mode today, Sambit.
The irony here, Shivam, is that, you know, this should on any other channel or any other, maybe in any other country, when senior leaders of a political party are being charged with criminal conspiracy for a very serious act, the ruling party, instead of being unhappy about it, actually seems quite unfazed, and there are political reasons for that, Shivam, which is what we're talking
It's a political masterstroke, I think. On the one hand, you can't blame the BJP for wanting justice against those who demolished the Babri Masjid. And on the other hand, they will reap rewards, because for the next 2 years, we will discuss every now and then we will discuss, including on this show, the Babri Masjid case, and not in unemployment. We will not discuss how much black money was saved in demonetization. We will not discuss whether India is open defecation free. We will not discuss whether all villages have been connected by the internet. We will not discuss various achievements of the Modi government. Instead, we will discuss Babri Masjid. I think it's interesting, the third year of the Modi government, in the year 2017 in particular, we see a decisive shift towards Hindutva. First, making Yogi Adityanath Chief Minister, this Babri Masjid case, asking the courts to do day-to-day hearing, and another example is the push for a push against meat, forcing India to eat vegetarian by BJP state governments as well as central government recently. Certainly, the first thing the Yogi Adityanath government did when it came to power in UP was to bring down the availability of meat. I think all of these things together, we have to see them in the larger picture, which is to deflect attention to Hindutva. And this deflection happened immediately after the failure of demonetization to save black money.
It's an interesting that you're linking it to that. And Sambit, I'll give you a chance to
how is it
respond, but I just want to ask
interesting,
Sabha, how much do people in UP really care about the Ram Mandir issue today? Is it still very much an emotive issue?
So I disagree
Especially
with this.
young
Yeah,
voters.
first of all, Nidhi, I don't think that Advani ji was ever going to be seriously considered for president. Somebody who's opposed Narendra Modi in the manner in which he did was never in the race. So the BJP didn't need an elaborate conspiracy to knock him out there. Number one, that's one thing. Now to come, and secondly, it was not a BJP plan. It was a particular judge in the Supreme Court, I'm not going to get into names, who took it upon himself to give a certain timeline. This is one of those cases where this happened. And frankly, it was the Congress. The Congress over years believed in this quid pro, we will not go after people beyond the point, which the BJP, now having simple majority, does not operate like that. They let it go for years. Under their watch, under allies, under so-called secular parties, the case went like this. So there is a, so factually let's get the facts straight. Advani ji was never going to be a presidential candidate. This was just a media bogus speculation. Number two, the case, it was done by a particular judge in the Supreme Court. Number three, as far as I'm concerned, they don't need a Ram temple to have Ayodhya, to have Hindutva. Hindutva is all around now. They don't need an issue at this point. They can only reinforce what already exists. And certainly there are those Ram temple
but
is also
the most emotive issue.
No,
at least as
no,
far as
Nidhi, the
a group like the Hindu Yuva
if you check, it is for them, it is for the cadre, but people really don't care about the Ram temple. So what do you need? What does the BJP ideally need? In all the ideological issue, you need someone to appear to oppose, someone who's been appeased. So you need those cartoons called the Muslim Personal Law Board to get up and start shouting. Only then does Ayodhya become a worthwhile issue. If they do that, certainly I say build the Ram temple, go ahead, I have said this, put on the uniform civil code, bring it about, build the Ram temple. But to say the souffle cannot be made to rise again and again and again, and for years Ayodhya has not been an issue that has delivered electorally in Uttar Pradesh. What happened in Uttar Pradesh this year, this time had nothing really to do with Ayodhya.